I'm Kat. Today I'm going to be looking at the old habits that we have got into since we were young. I'm feeling quite nervous about making this video because I'm not any expert at doing this. I'm not a professional, but I'm talking from my heart about things that I've experienced and people who've spoken to me and confided in me, quite a lot of people actually, about things they've gone through. So what I'm looking at really is how we learn things as we are as young children. When we first come into this world, we have ways of learning how to survive. Some people have great upbringings, really happy, secure upbringings, and other people have really bad, sad circumstances where they just have to learn what works best for them in the circumstances they're in. So we all have patterns, we all get into patterns from a very early age. You've probably heard about little girls who smile a lot and wheedle and get round their dads because little girls are so gorgeous. And maybe little boys can get round their moms the same way. It's just a thing we learn to do. We learn to be charming. It's like our pets very often learn much more expertly than we do how to get round us and get the food they want and the basic survival mechanisms. You might find a wild animal. You might rescue a feral cat, for example, and it will be wild, it will growl, it'll scratch you, because it's learnt that's how it survives. But little by little, with patience and understanding and kindness, that animal will change and it will learn that it's in a safe place instead of a bad place. And that's how we are. We're basic survivors. That's how our race has survived. And this is what we learn. So if maybe we've been in a home, for example, a children's home, and we might not get very much attention, we learn, probably become quite streetwise, quite able to cope with the competition that's thrown at us. Whereas maybe some people who are more nurtured, and I was lucky, I had great parents who really looked after me, and I wasn't streetwise at all. I really was quite naive when I got into the world, and it was a shock. I trusted people far too much. I didn't know who I could trust and who I couldn't. I always thought everybody was nice, like my parents. Other people who've had worse times than maybe I did, maybe they will survive better when they get into the big bad world because they've learnt to be streetwise. And I wish that I had learned this a lot longer ago. I really do, because I might not have gone through so much pain. But who are we to judge what life's going to throw at us? We all have these habits, and I guess we get to a stage in our lives when we start looking at the habits that we have, the emotional reactions that we've got into, and whether they're still appropriate. Are they serving us right now? Are they helping us? Or are they making life much more difficult for us? I've always been really interested in psychology. I've studied psychology and counselling and spoken to a lot of people who've been in different situations, painful situations. I've been in painful situations. I've been in an abusive relationship, and I really want to do what I can to help other people. Some people have already confided in me and my heart goes out to them. I really, really know what it's like to feel so lost and lonely and desperate and worthless, and how you can lose your confidence so badly because you believe the put downs, you believe the criticisms, you believe what is thrown at you, and you little by little become a pathetic person who is desperately looking for approval, desperately trying to get that significant other to love them, basically. That's what we do for love. And I felt ashamed. I felt it was all my fault, and I shouldn't be telling anybody, I shouldn't be admitting how bad I was, because it was all my fault. That's what I believed. There's been loads of self-help books, there's been books written about being assertive. There's a really interesting book written by somebody who wrote about the way people play games, how we get into this triangle, which is called the persecution victim rescuing triangle. And 1 minute we are being persecuted and we become a victim and we feel terrible, and then maybe we decide we're going to fight back, so we then become the persecutor, we strike back. And then maybe we might feel sad and bad that we'd hurt the person, so we go into the rescuing mode, we rescue them. And then maybe the person who's being persecuted then persecutes us back, or they might feel like a victim. But we keep on round and round this triangle. We never get off this triangle. It's destructive, and it keeps us just in one place, from not growing, from not changing, from not learning. And the one thing we have to do is to try and get off this triangle, to step off, to rescue ourselves. And that sounds really easy, but it's not. When you're in an abusive relationship or a codependent relationship where you're desperate for that person to love you, it's so hard to walk away. But if you get interested in other things, that's what I did. Little by little I found interesting things to do. I became interested in my work, in my immediate family, my relatives, my other friends. I found new friends, and I started doing new things, a bit of voluntary work, and began to gradually feel more worthy as a person. Not completely, not all at once, little by little, but enough so that when the abusive person came back, I looked at what he was saying and it seemed pathetic, it seemed childish, and I actually began to like feeling good, something I hadn't been used to for a long time, feeling good. And it becomes nice, it becomes something you want to keep doing, feeling good. It's a lovely feeling, and gradually it's easier and easier. It was easier for me to get away from feeling bad, and it became easier and easier to find what is out there. That world is so big, there is so much to do. There are so many things that we can do to make ourselves happy, to make other people happy, to leave a legacy, to make a difference in this world. Thank you for listening, and hope to get back to you soon.